Thank you very much. And Toastmaster Ogona, Decide at Hams. Thank you for laying down the ground rules. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Good
Good
afternoon, everybody.
afternoon.
Thank you. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to Seaside Toastmasters Club. Here at Seaside, we are concerned about developing our public speaking and leadership skills. And we do that as peers. We hold our meetings every first and second Saturdays of the month at 1 p.m. However, in October and November, as the side have said, the club has settled for having 3 meetings, which will mean we will not have a meeting in December. We will take this time out to rest and celebrate ourselves. You will all agree with me that all Nigerians need to be celebrated for surviving 2024. Today's meeting is virtual, and you can as well join us physically for our first meeting in November, which will be an hybrid meeting at a co-hotel and suites. First, I would like to thank our president, Toastmaster Ebube, for giving me the opportunity to deliver this welcome address. It's always an honor to serve, and I'm excited about the great things we'll accomplish today. Our theme for today is lead, serve, speak. 3 simple yet powerful words that capture what we strive for in Toastmasters. In Toastmasters, we don't just develop our speaking skills, but we also grow as leaders. And we serve ourselves through constructive feedbacks. Our inspirational quotes of today are the words of Reverend Theodore M. Esberg, a Catholic priest and academic, who said, "The very essence of leadership is that you have to have a vision. It's got to be a vision you articulate clearly and forcefully on every occasion. You can't blow an uncertain trumpet." This should remind us that as leaders and speakers, we must communicate our vision with confidence and clarity, ensuring that every other person can follow our lead. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Martin Luther King Jr., through that vivid imagery and a hopeful message, painted a vision that resonated with people. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender. Winston Churchill, another leader, inspired resilience and hope during World War II through his speech, making the British people believe in a eventual victory. What ties these leaders together is the clarity of their vision and the ability to speak to the hopes and fears of their people, making their followers feel part of something larger than themselves. Today, we'll be having 2 training as part of the district's objective of developing better speakers and leaders. The first will be service and leadership, which comes from the Leadership Excellence Series. And the second will be organizing your speech as part of the Better Speakers Series. These are opportunities for us to set ourselves to become not only effective communicators, but also impactful leaders. These trainings will be taken by Toastmaster Francis Mukolu and Toastmaster Ajani Ibrahim. We look forward to hearing you. For our guest today, welcome you are about to experience firsthand the supportive environment that Toastmasters offers. To move this meeting forward, we will have, I will be honored to introduce who you might call the master of ceremony. Some may call the anchor, but we call him the Toastmaster of the day. Our Toastmaster of the day is a human asset manager, a consultant in communication, leadership, business, and personal development. He became a Toastmaster in 2014. And since then, he has served in many positions. Vice President of Education, membership, public relations, he has been there. He has also served as president and moved on to become the area director. He loves to play chess and is open to challenges. Toastmaster Ugonna and Toastmaster Ajani, are you ready? Friends call him you and I, as he is poised as a point of light to wherever he meets. He is ready to be a point of light to us today. Welcome to the virtual lecture, Toastmaster Ubong Inyang.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kudus Adebayo. Mr. Vice President, today you have been of service and you have led and you have communicated as a leader. Thank you for introducing me as a Toastmaster for today. We are already 6 minutes behind time, so I'm going to round it up quickly on time as fast as we can. Today promises to be a remarkable one, and with the lineup of activities, the prepared speech, the training, we're going to have fun learning and networking together. A typical Toastmasters meeting has 3 segments: the prepared speeches, the table topic segment, and the evaluation. And today in our prepared speeches segment, we have 2 trainings and 1 prepared speech. It would be lovely to listen to these speakers. However, today's event will be handled by myself solely. I have a partner who will help me in navigating this. The person has been a member of Toastmasters since 2012. With 2 children, he is the current president of Luminous Toastmasters Club. He is the past club group director of Division and Triple Crown Award talent. He is a network marketer and investor who loves to read, dance, draw, play volleyball, and meet people. I'd love to meet you someday. Help me welcome our general evaluator for today, Toastmaster John Olumide. Over to you, Toastmaster John Olumide.
Thank you so much, the Toastmaster of the day. Please confirm that you can hear me clearly.
I can hear and see you.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome once again to our Seaside meeting. Today, I have the privilege of serving as the General Evaluator. My job as General Evaluator is for my team and I to pay attention from everything from the very start of the meeting to the very end. And why are we going to do that? Every skill you try and develop, you have the opportunity to get good. And when you can get good, you can get better. And if you can get better, you can definitely get to a point that you're at your best. The reason why here is to ensure that you don't settle for good, neither will you settle for better, but you strive to become your best. And how are we going to do that? When we pay attention to what happens, we'll give you feedback on how to improve these things when we come at the end to deliver our reports. Today, I'm working with quite an eclectic team with people that are very experienced in playing these roles and people that are just starting to play the role, literally playing the role for the very first time. Nonetheless, they are all quite competent. Now, I'll be introducing my very first team member. My first team member who is playing the role of the grammarian is an English doctor and a communication coach. He facilitates a monthly speaking clinic for children and communication programs for career professionals and organizations. He's certified to teach English worldwide by the International TEFL Training Institute, New York School of English, USA. He is the author of the best-selling grammar book entitled Elevate Your Expressions. Further, he's a trustee of the Association of Diction Coaches of Nigeria. He graduated as the best student in English and with a distinction from the FRCN training school during his postgraduate studies in 2009 and 2016. He is the 2021 District 94 Speech Evaluation Champion. Dear Toastmasters and guests, with a resounding virtual applause, welcome our grammarian for today's meeting, none other than the English doctor, Toastmaster Craig Esorde. Toastmaster Craig, the virtual lectern is yours.
Toastmaster John. Thank you most graciously for the electrifying eloquence of your remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, it is scratched on steel that good grammar and proper pronunciation are foundational to effective communication. Why? They help to strengthen our credibility as speakers and leaders, according to the fourth project of the Toastmasters Competent Communication Manual. As a consequence, as a grammarian, my central responsibility is to provide insightful evaluation of our use of the English tongue during the course of the meeting. Words are the currency of communication. As such, my second responsibility is to widen your mental lexicon by sharing the word of the day. What is the word of the day? Well, this word enters the lexicon of English in 1557 on the authority of the Merriam-Webster's dictionary. The word is an adverb, speaking grammatically, and the word is gracefully. Gracefully, what does it mean? It means to move in a smooth and relaxed way. Synonyms are compelling, easily, beautifully, elegantly, and whatnot. An example sentence is, she walks gracefully to school every day, or she walked gracefully to the spotlight. Toastmasters deliver speeches gracefully. I encourage you to incorporate this word into the DNA of your sentence structures. I'm going to provide a report during the evaluation constituent of the meeting. Until then, please have fun storming the castle. And it's back to you, our gracefully eloquent general evaluator, Toastmaster John Ondomia.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Craig. That was gracefully delivered. Now on to my next team member, who is serving as the timer for today. Our timer for today is a registered quantity surveyor with over 6 years of experience in cost management of construction projects. He's passionate about public speaking and sharing his knowledge, as well as contributing to the success of construction projects through meticulous cost management and strategic planning. Dear Toastmasters and guests, with a virtual round of applause, welcome our timer for today, Toastmaster Afiz Olagoke. Toastmaster Afiz, over to you.
Thank you, gracefully, Master John. I appreciate your time. Good afternoon, fellow master and honored guests. It's a pleasure to serve you as the timer of today's meeting. As of today, my role is to show we look through our time as stated in the agenda. On our agenda, on of the allotted times of each species. The prepare skills, the development species and evaluation. So in order to achieve this, I'll be making use of my timing card. So in order to achieve this, I'll be making use of my timing card for prepared speeches, which is a 5 to 7 speech. At 5 minutes, you see my screen, I have a green card. At 6 minutes, you see my screen, I have a yellow card. While at 7 minutes, I show my red card. Please confirm you can see my cards, please.
We can see them very vividly.
And after the meeting, I come back to give reports as regards our time usage. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, our timer, Toastmaster Fees. Toastmaster Fees, please, can you confirm? We have 2 trainings today. When are you going to show your green card, yellow card, and red card for the trainings?
Okay. For that, I'm coming.
The trainings are both 10 minutes with 5 minutes for Q&A. When will you be showing the green card, the yellow card, and the red card to ensure the facilitators know how much time they have available to them? We want them to operate as gracefully as possible.
Thanks for that. So 5 minutes, I'll show my green card. That means the Q&A can start from there.
I don't know if it's just me, Toastmaster Fees, but your network is really poor and I can't hear you from my end. Can others hear him? Okay, yes, it's not just me. Others are complaining. Your network is quite poor, Toastmaster Fees. So if it's okay, please, can you type in the chat box when you will show the green card for the training, when you will show the yellow, and when you will show the red? Type that in the chat box and you can repeat it right before the training. I hope you heard me. You can type in the chat box, please. Thank you. Now, moving right along to my next team member who is going to be playing the role of the R counter for today. Our R counter for today is a seasoned architect and founder of Design Catalog Limited, a Nigerian-based firm delivering top-notch architectural and project management services across Africa, with a passion for creative, ethical, and high-standard designs. Brings over a decade of experience to the table. He contributes to the industry growth through mentorship and community engagement, and in his free time, enjoys billiards, socializing, and envisioning innovative projects. Dear Toastmasters and guests, with a warm virtual round of applause, welcome our R counter for today, Toastmaster Olusegun Ibitoye. The screen is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Toastmaster John, for that graceful introduction. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, my job here is simple. I'm doing 2 things today. I'll take notes during your speech. I'll take notes of pause fillers. It's also called filler words or crutch. Words like so, words like that. Also, the second thing I'll be doing is that there are things we call comfort words. I'll be watching out for repetition of comfort words like basically, right, actually, you know, words like that. So one thing I want to do quickly is to encourage you. There's power in the pause rather than using pause fillers. So when you pause, it makes your speech more graceful and it makes it more powerful and clear. So there's clarity to that. At the end or during the course of the meeting, I'll come back and give a report on how many hours occurred during the meeting, and I would also mention the names of those people. Thank you very much. Over to you, Toastmaster John.
Thank you so much, our counter for today. Dear Toastmasters and guests, you've seen my entire team. We are here to work for you to ensure you improve in such a manner that you can be as graceful as possible when you have to speak before an audience. It's now my delight to hand back control to the Toastmaster of the day in person of Toastmaster Ubong Inyang. Over to you, Toastmaster Ubong.
All right, thank you very much, General Evaluator of the day. Now we're back on track with no minutes to wait. Are we prepared for the prepared speech segment? I hear people saying yes, right inside your mind. We move gracefully on to our first training session of the day, which will come from the leadership series. The title of this training is Service and Leadership. This training will take up to 10 minutes and then 5 minutes for Q&A, questions and answers. To facilitate this training, we have an interesting Toastmaster who is an experienced accountant, a Triple Crown Toastmaster award winner, an ACB and ALB holder. By ACB, it's called ACB and ALB holder. He loves to wear a smile so the world can smile back at him. When he is not balancing accounts and counting people's money, and he is as well, he loves to listen to alternative rock music and watch Arsenal Football Club. I wish he was a Chelsea fan. Help me welcome our first facilitator, Toastmaster Francis Mukolu. Toastmaster Francis Mukolu, over to you.
You can see me. Can you see me, Toastmaster of the day?
Yes,
Thank
we can
you
see you.
immensely.
Yes, we can see you. Go ahead.
Okay. Leaders live to serve. That was a famous quote by none other than Tom Peters, an American author. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Good afternoon. I hear your responses. So today, we've decided to take a training from the Toastmasters Leadership Series, where we'll help ourselves to develop skills necessary to be better leaders as Toastmasters in a Toastmasters environment and outside of Toastmasters. And when you hear the word effective leaders, he is an effective leader. She is an effective leader. What comes to your mind, fellow Toastmasters and guests? I want us to begin with that by using the chat box. When you hear, he is an effective leader, she is an effective leader, what are some of the characteristics that you see that make you scream, wow, this person is indeed an effective leader? Can we use the chat box? I want to hear some, wow, excellence. I can see quite a number of them. They know how to get others to grow and get things done. Thank you, Toastmaster John. We have, let's keep it coming. We have a clear vision. We have inspiring. These are all from Toastmasters. I want to see from our guests. Can our guests say a word or two as well? Confident. As it is said, Confidence is like a pregnant woman. It shows, you can never hide it. Thank you most kindly. Visionary, selfless, delegate stars, assertive. I think by virtue of the responses we have received, we are done with this training. You all are effective leaders. So go ye, all of you, and implement all you have said. Thank you for the graceful responses you all have pushed in the chat box. Thank you again and again. So according to the Toastmaster Leadership Excellence Manual, it specifies 3 specific qualities and attributes of an effective leader. And what are these? Does anybody want to know? Yes, I can see DTM Kloski nodding his head. So I have captured them in 3 acronyms, which we call DCM. DCM. Can I see somebody put in the chat box? DCM. Who wants to know what it means? DCM. Let's keep it coming. DCM. DCM. The attributes of effective leaders that we'll get to know today. So DCM, let's keep it coming. We have 2 more to go before we proceed, before we tell you what this acronym stands for. 1 more, and here we go. Thank you immensely for your responses. The first of them all is D, which is direction. An efficient leader shows the way. As the Toastmaster of the Day at inception mentioned, the Toastmaster of the Day shows clear vision, shows clear direction, sets goals, and walk this goal and walk the way. Instead of walking the way, he holds the hands of the team members and asks them to walk the path as well. I could remember quite vividly, I was privileged to serve as the president of our great club, Seaside Toastmasters Club, in the 2018-2019 Toastmasters year. And the vision then that resonated among every one of us, ESCO members, was to be a distinguished club by March of 2019. That is 3 months to the end of the Toastmasters year. That vision resonated with all ESCO members. We ate, we slept. Wherever we went to, all our meetings, DCP by March, DCP by March, DCP by March, and that was the ringtone. We wrote it down, and they say the rest is history. And we achieved 10 over 10 DCP points. For non-Toastmasters, there's a dashboard where we mark number of speaking roles, other roles, leadership roles, and so on. So we're able to get 10 over 10 by March. So that is what great leaders do. Efficient and effective leaders set clear directions and ask others to follow. For every meeting in the 2018 Toastmasters year, 2018-2019 Toastmasters year, believe you me, Toastmaster Francis spoke at every meeting. As a leader, you should show the way and you should walk the way for your team members to follow. That makes an effective leader. And no wonder I have my Triple Crown Award for that, to show for it. So at the end of the day, you will be rewarded. So the second is C, which is collaboration. As an effective leader, you should learn to collaborate, to work with other team members, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The president cannot do it all. The vice president membership, even in our respective organization, one individual cannot do it all. There's need for collaboration. So outside of the Toastmasters experience, I will ask one of us to give us his or her experience on how collaboration can enhance effective leadership. And who will that be? Who is willing to go? Let me call on Toastmaster John. Apologies for putting you on the spot. How can collaboration enhance effective leadership? Toastmaster John Onumia.
Thank you so much, our ever cheerful Toastmaster Francis. Thank you for putting me on the spot. Collaboration for me is an example of how the sum of the parts less than the eventual result. And what do I mean by that? If you have 1 and 1, when you add, it's supposed to be 2. But when you collaborate with people, it's way more than 2 that you get. And an example that comes to mind is, because I do trainings, I love helping people in public speaking. I can't handle everyone. And when people refer people to me, usually because I have other people and I know other friends that do similar things, I refer them to those friends so that we can help them be better. And for some, it sounds weird. Why would you refer people to other people that do the same thing? Because we are working together ultimately to serve people. And by letting people go to someone that has the expertise, later when they can't do certain things and they know I'm better, they can refer others to me. In essence, both of us working together to serve others creates much better results than me trying to do everything myself. You get a result that is much greater than the sum of the 2 parts. That's what comes to mind when I think collaboration. Over to you, Toastmaster Francis.
Thank you immensely, Mentor Toastmaster John Onumia. So collaboration denotes team building, team effort. As it is said, team, together for the T, E, each, A, achieves, M, more. So when we work in teams, as effective leaders, it is not our responsibility to do it all alone. We need the efforts of others. So leaders, Toastmasters, in and out of Toastmasters, let's learn to collaborate. When we collaborate, we get better results. Number 3 letter, M. M is to motivate achievement. So as an effective leader or an aspiring effective leader, you need to be a king. You need to gracefully motivate and champion the cause of persuasion among your team members. You have different individuals in a team, and it's your responsibility as the leader of the team to motivate those that need to be pushed, those that you need to tell to calm down. You're taking it too in a haste. It is your responsibility as a leader in your different spheres, in the family, in your career, or in your different religious organization. Motivation in the Toastmasters environment. I can remember quite clearly Toastmasters Roots and Toastmasters Ebrima, 2 effective and wonderful leaders, past presidents of Seaside. Motivation was at its peak at Seaside. We would end to play role at Seaside. What form of motivation is that? I would look forward to every Toastmasters meeting because I knew for Toastmaster Roots, it is always a bag of goodies. A bag of goodies with golden more, different beverages, and so on for the best evaluator of the day. I usually look forward to that, especially when Toastmaster John is not around, so I could win the best evaluator award and go with my bag of goodies. For Toastmaster Ebrima, he was a bookworm, and his own method of motivation and recognition was to present gifts, special awards, and so on. For Toastmaster Ebrima, I got this. I also got a ruler, and I don't know what the ruler implies. I think I never got the opportunity to ask him. So what is the motivation for you as a leader? How do you motivate your team members? Remember, motivation and recognition. As human beings, we desire and require them. If you do not motivate your team member, how will they achieve excellent results? Fellow Toastmasters and guests, Mr. President Toastmaster Ebube Modi, please read my lips. I have not said anything, but we need your motivation at Seaside. Maybe monetary, maybe gift-wise, So we have learned today the DCM approach to effective leadership. Remember to set clear direction. This is where I want Seaside to be. This is where I want my family to be. This is where I want my career to be in 5, 10 years' time. And you collaborate with fellow team members to achieve results. And you motivate other team members as the leader. So with this in mind, we're able to achieve our results of becoming better leaders sooner than later. It was Toastmaster Blessing Onyedu, former president of our great club, that said, no one serves and lives effectively and ever remains the same. No one ever serves or lives effectively and ever remain the same. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, keep on leading, keep on leading. So we'll have 5 minutes for question. If we have, I think I'll hand over to the Toastmaster of the day to anchor that.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Francis Mukolu, for that wonderful session. Although I was knocked off most of the session. But we have questions for the facilitator. Let's see on the chat box, do we have questions? All right, if we don't have questions, you can start.
Mr. Toastmaster of the day, there are 2 hands up.
Oh, excellent. Okay, let me go check them out. Lovely. The Clocky DTM.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, the one aspect of leadership you never touched on at all were the great attributes of great leaders: warmth, charm, and niceness. What is your attitude to warmth, charm, and niceness, please?
Thank you very much.
Warmth, charm, and niceness. Over to you.
I think I got that. So that is the word of the day, gracefulness. And you can see all over me is a replete of grace and gracefulness. So I could remember as well, Toastmasters and guests, my school teams, Toastmaster UK, Toastmaster Fiku and Yomi. We've had so many dealings outside of Toastmasters. We've done prep for their different interviews and all for their yearly program. So if you don't have grace, if you don't have niceness, how will people approach you? So as Toastmasters, you should be very receptive. As effective leader, you should be very receptive to welcome people and listen to them. Thank you. I hope I've been able to answer your question, DTM.
Okay, let's see who had the second hand raised. Who had the second hand raised?
I think it's Toastmaster John.
All right, Toastmaster John, feel free to ask your question.
Thank you so much. Toastmaster Francis, thank you for that gracefully delivered presentation. My question quickly, because I know we don't have time. Can you name a few tips on how to motivate people that don't appear to be motivated? Did you get the question?
Yes, I did quite clearly. So that question is a bit technical. To motivate someone that don't want to be motivated. So I want to take it the reverse. What is motivation? Motivation simply means asking a man to go to hell and he look forward to going to the hell. So learning tips for doing that. I think I'll borrow a leaf from the question of the DTM. You have to be graceful. You have to be persuasive. If possible, use monetary incentive, whatever, try different efforts. I think I did that during my tenure, during the end of my tenure. In February of 2019, we were 8/10. We needed 2 Toastmasters to deliver 2 speeches. I used everything possible, monetary. I would pay for Toastmaster Yetunde's transport fare to go to Ikeja Toastmasters Club. Toastmaster Fikon and Aluko spoke at 3 different meetings on a Saturday. I would foot so you could anything possible just to achieve the vision of the leader and of the club. Thank you. I hope I've been able to provide answer and insights on your question, Mr. Toastmaster John. So thank you very much, fellow Toastmasters and guests. For want of time, I want to hand over control. And as an effective leader, we should all remember, effective leaders do not want power for themselves. They want power to be in service.
All right. Thank you very much, facilitator. And thank you all who had the grace to ask the question. Now we'll have to switch segue into the next prepared speaker. This time not a training, but a prepared speech. This speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster John Oluminya, and I'll have to invite Toastmaster John, who also doubles as our general evaluator, so please come and give us highlights of this speech, what we should expect. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, the Toastmaster of the day. Our prepared speaker for today has the responsibility of being a graceful speaker. She's graceful in her work, but now she has to gracefully deliver her speech by ensuring she either utilizes vocal variety or body language in delivering this speech. Toastmaster Chidalu Okabekwa, I am sure you are going to do a splendid job. Over to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Evaluator One, for telling us what to look out for in that speech. Our speaker today will be speaking from Presentation Mastery, Level 1, 6-3. This speech is meant to last 5 to 7 minutes. And our speaker today is a young mom and entrepreneur who has a passion for self-development and growth. She joined Toastmasters with the goal of acquiring the skill to become a great public speaker and a leader, and I dare ask to be of service. Embracing change. Embracing change, Toastmaster Chidalu Okabekwe.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Thank you so much for having me today. So today I would like to talk about a topic that can either be sweet or bitter, and that is change. Greek philosopher Heraclitus, a profound writer in philosophy, metaphysics, and politics, once said that change is only constant. And how do we react to this constant? Do we resist it or do we embrace it? I'd like to start with a brief personal story. For those of you that were present during my icebreaker speech, and for the benefit of our guests in the house today, an icebreaker speech is the first speech you deliver when you just join the Toastmasters Club. If you could recall, I mentioned that I transitioned from being a 9-to-5er to being an entrepreneur overnight. I had no prior experience. I had no plans. I had nothing. Well, being an entrepreneur has been tremendous for me. It has been one of the best decisions I had ever taken in my entire life. It will interest you to know that my both parents were career professionals for the most part of their lives. My dad was in the insurance industry for 35 years before he retired as the former managing director of Guinea Insurance PLC. And my mom also served in the educational sector for 35 years before she retired as the vice principal of one of the federal government schools in Lagos. Imagine coming from a background like that. I had no inspiration of becoming an entrepreneur. It was not in my dictionary. Well, I started my career as a young accountant, but as time went by, I started having second thoughts. But I was so reluctant to embracing change. Well, as a 9-to-5er, I was comfortable, I was happy, and I was content with my job. But I wasn't fulfilled. I felt that I could do more than just clocking in and clocking out of work every day. I believed that I had some untapped potential that has not been discovered. Family demands were not helping matters either. I wanted to resign. On several occasions, I would hear these voices in my head telling me to resign, but I was so scared. I had so many feelings that were holding me back. The first one was the fear of uncertainty. I was afraid of failing. I didn't want to resign from my job, only to start a business that would eventually fail. And the second one was I was in my comfort zone. I was so comfortable with my job. Who wouldn't? I had a steady income. I didn't have to do too much. Imagine the thoughts of getting your salary every 25th. That was enough. Well, fast forward to September 2023, I decided to embrace change. So I started my business, and being an entrepreneur has been a life transformative journey for me. I have discovered a lot of opportunities, a lot of strengths, and innovative skills that has helped grow my business. This experience has taught me that growth is very important. That when you embrace change, you grow. But when you resist change, you miss out on a lot of opportunities for problem solving, creativity, and self-development. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, what is stopping you from embracing that change? Are you afraid of taking up that project because you are afraid of failing? Or are you in that abusive relationship because you feel you will not get another partner? Well, in conclusion, remember that embracing change unlocks a full potential in you. Johnson Spencer once said that embracing change can be difficult, but it unlocks tremendous results. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, please let us embrace change with open arms. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you.
Thank you very kindly, Toastmaster Chidalu, for that amazing presentation on embracing change. I felt you were speaking to me to move from a 9 to 5 and raise that entrepreneurial feeling that's been nagging in my head of late. Please, Toastmasters and guests, send in your love notes. They say feedback is the breakfast champion. Let her know how she fared in the chat box. What did she do well? What could she improve upon? What is about that speech? I will not move to the next one because I don't see those graceful words on the chat box or in the chat box. You're waiting, sending those love notes, those kind words. Excellent, thank you. Toastmaster Francis. Please, let's keep it coming, let's keep it coming. Great, beautiful, let's keep it coming. Nice, Toastmaster Abube. All right, at this point, we'll have to move to the next speaker, a prepared facilitation and training, this time from the Better Speakers series. We've had something from leadership, now we're having one from the Better Speakers series. The title of this speech will be Organizing Your Speech, and it lasts 10 minutes with a 5-minute question and answer session, just like the first one. To deliver this speech, we have a registered surveyor who provides surveying services to help individuals and organizations with their land procurement and title registration. He is club president at Seaside Toastmasters Club. His hobbies include playing chess, and I don't see why your name was mentioned, exploring poetry, and watching sitcoms. All right, help me welcome Toastmaster Ibrahim Ajani, organizing your speech. Organizing your speech, Toastmaster Ibrahim Ajani. Over to you.
Thank you very much for that graceful introduction, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. My name is Ibrahim Ajani, and I'll be delivering this training titled How to Organize a Speech from the Better Speaker series. The goal of this training is to help us to know how to organize a speech. It was Mohammed Al-Khattani, a former world champion of Toastmasters public speaking, that said, words have power. And one way that we can maximize the power of words is to know how to craft and organize a good speech. Thank you for having me once again. Mr. Toastmaster of the Day, please confirm that you can hear me loud and clear.
Loud and clear, confirmed.
Thank you. I'll be delivering this training with the aid of a PowerPoint presentation. Please confirm that you can see my screen.
Screen seen, confirmed.
Okay, so Chris Anderson, the head of the popular TED Talk organization, said something that I found quite interesting. He said, as the head of the TED Talk organization, he had witnessed a lot of great TED Talk speeches. And these TED Talk speeches, they always have something in common. While these speeches do not have a secret formula in itself, all these great speeches have something in common. Okay, someone said I should share this in PowerPoint mode. I really don't know much about PowerPoint like that. I think I'll manage it this way.
Okay, if you collapse the toolbox pane, it will
Okay.
go bigger. Yeah, where you have the editing at your far right. Yeah, yes. Far right editing. Collapse the toolbox pane, it will come up bigger.
Okay. Now, I don't think I know how to do that.
Okay.
On the bottom right, you will
just
see the expand on the bottom right, please.
Okay, the bottom right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
oh, good. Lovely.
It's not expanding. Okay, let me.
Sorry, good afternoon.
Click on the fourth button by the top.
No.
Okay, is it better now?
I've gotten it. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
thank
you
you.
have it now. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
That's it. Good.
Let's continue. So Chris Anderson, the head of the Popular TED Talk organization, said, all the great TED Talk speeches, they have something in common. And one thing they have in common is the fact that the speaker has an idea, but not just an idea, but also a burning desire to share this idea of theirs with the world. Now, if you have an idea, you have what it takes to deliver a remarkable speech. And the goal of this training is to help you turn your idea into a remarkable speech. Now, before I proceed with how to really arrange your speech, I would like to discuss with us the key elements of a good speech. Now, what are the key elements of a good speech? Number one is purpose. Every great speech must have a purpose. The speaker must know the purpose of the speech and must be interested in sharing the purpose of the speech with the audience during the introduction phase of the speech. And in most cases, it is best for you as the speaker to state the purpose of the speech, unless in some cases where you're delivering an humorous speech and you want the audience to infer the purpose of the speech, or in a case where you're delivering a speech that is charged with charged emotionally, and you want the audience to feel the purpose instead. But unless you have a very good reason not to, always state the purpose of your speech. The second element of a good speech is novelty. And this has to do with the attributes of newness and originality. Okay, thank you for that comment, Toastmaster Dekloski. Your speech must always have an element of novelty. You must always be adding something new to the mind of your audience whenever you're speaking, something new and something original. So that's the second element of a good speech. And the third element of a good speech is structure. When you're delivering a speech at all times, your speech must be well structured. All the points that you're presenting must be arranged logically and sequentially, and you must be able to transition between them with the appropriate transition to use. So the three key elements of a good speech to keep in mind when you're crafting a speech: number one, purpose; number two, novelty; and number three is structure. Now, let's go to the speech organization method. What are the phases of a speech organization? Number one is to tell your audience what you're going to tell them. This has to do with the introduction phase of your speech. And in this phase, you must make sure that you tell the audience the purpose of your speech. During this phase, you must set the premise of your speech, establish what you intend to tell the audience, and also state the purpose of your speech. Now, a lot of people try to use different strategies to open their speeches. Some people use a question to open their speech. Some people can use a story. Some people can use fun fact or statistics. Whatever works for you and for the idea you're trying to share, use that method. But make sure you tell the audience what you're going to tell them ahead of delivering your speech itself. The second phase is the tell them phase. This has to do with your speech content. This is where you deliver the main body of your speech. And during this phase, you have to share your ideas, the main point and the supporting materials with the audience. And during this stage, you have to make sure that the content you're sharing is quality. You have to ask yourself, the content I'm sharing in this speech, is that important and is it valuable? If the answer to both questions is no, maybe don't bother, go back to the drawing board. It is important for you to have a very good structure when you're sharing the main content of your speech. It's important for you to be sharing new ideas as well. But before you go ahead and craft the content, the body of your speech, make sure that you research the subject that you are delivering a speech on very well. And going on to the final phase of the speech organization method, and that is tell them what you've told them. This has to do with the conclusion of your speech. And during the conclusion of your speech, ideally, you want to reiterate the purpose of your speech. You want to restate the purpose of your speech. And after restating the purpose of your speech, summarize the key points that you use to address the purpose of your speech, and close with either a key message, a call or a call to action. So that is that about the speech organization method. We have 3 phases of speech organization method. Tell your audience what you're going to tell them. That's the introduction phase where you state the purpose as well. Tell them, that is the main content where you express your ideas and support your ideas with stories, anecdotes, examples, illustration, facts and figures, statistics, and so on and so forth. And also tell them what you've told them. This is the closing aspect of your speech. This is the summary and conclusion phase of your speech. Now, all the things I said during the speech organization method can be rephrased in this way in when you develop an outline. The first thing you want to do when you're delivering a speech is craft your introduction. After crafting your introduction, go to the body of your speech. And during the body of your speech, you want to list out your main ideas and support these main ideas with facts and figures, statistics, images, and so on and so forth before you go into the conclusion. This is where you conclude your speech. Now, I can see that my time is almost up here, so I'll just go ahead and recap the speech, the content of my presentation. Going back to my first slide, you must always have an idea that you want to share with the audience. And once you have an idea, you definitely can turn your idea into a speech. And how do you do that? You have to be conscious of 3 key things when you're developing your speech. Your speech must have a strong purpose that you want to share with the audience. Your speech must have an element of newness and originality. Your speech must be well structured when you're crafting it. And when you're crafting your speech, keep in mind that you want to go ahead and tell the audience what you're going to tell them in the introduction, establish the premise and state the purpose. Second thing, tell them. This has to do with the content of your speech. Make sure that your content is valuable and it is important. And go ahead and make sure that your audience have your content as an element of novelty and it is well structured. Then finally, recap. Tell the audience what you've told them the way I'm doing right now. Then what the outline method has to do with developing an outline, introduction, the body, and the conclusion. And because of time, that is all I'm going to take. Thank you very much. And it's back to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very kindly. That was gracefully delivered, Toastmaster Ibrahim Ajani. Please, without any wasting time, do we have questions for the facilitator in the topic organizing your speech? Tell them what you want to tell them, and tell them what you told them. All right. There's a question: what strategies do you use to identify your target? What strategies do you use to identify your target audience's needs?
Thank you very much, Mr. Master of the Day. Okay, so what strategies do you use to identify your target audience needs. First and foremost, I think the first one is demography. You want to look at the age group of your audience. If your audience are very young people, you have to know that they will be interested in trending topics. Another thing is also has to do with the environment itself. For example, if you're speaking to people at Toastmasters, these are people that are interested in personal development. You want to talk to them about something that will motivate them to develop themselves personally. And if you're talking to somebody that is maybe your client, for example, I'm a surveyor now. I work with a lot of real estate people and engineers. Now I know what the people in the real estate sector, what they need. They want me to do their survey plans for them, and they want it done on time and very well. I know how to pitch to them in a way that they would want to give me a job. If I'm at a wedding now delivering a toast as the best man, I know that people want to chill and relax and hear nice things about the groom or the bride, and I know that that is what I'm going to do. So it depends on the environment, depends on the audience itself. You have to know the setup, the age group, and also the interest of the audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do we have another question? Any other question? Going one.
Okay.
Going
Master
two.
Olusegun.
Okay. Good afternoon, Tia Johnny. That was a graceful speech. Thank you very much. So my question is a bit more general. You spoke about originality.
Yeah.
Originality. So I want to take that back to the speaker's personality. If you are a laid-back speaker and you are a calm speaker, would you say it's preferable to be original in who you are and deliver your speech in that manner, or you try to be more outward, be more outspoken, be more catchy? How do you go about that? I don't know if my question is clear.
Your question is very clear. I think, just like you said, me personally, I tend to be a laid-back person. And I know that in the long run, I'm going to be a laid-back person when I speak in front of people. Now, you may want to tweak your speaking style to adjust to the demands of the audience that you're speaking to. But mostly, it is always optimal to make sure that the way you're delivering your speech actually aligns with your personality, because that's going to help you in the long run. Because if you tweak your style just to pander to the audience, it's going to exhaust you very fast. But if you want to be able to maintain your momentum in the long run, make sure that you rehearse your speech, you practice your speech, and make sure that you come down to your own level where you can be comfortable. Because that is part of originality as well. Delivering a speech based on your personality. I know a lot of people would say you should need to be loud. Sometimes when I'm loud and speaking too fast, I'm not necessarily comfortable with that. I prefer to be gentle because I know that I can be more effective that way. You know yourself better and you know how best you can be effective. If you can be more effective by being calm and approaching the topic lightly, it's better for you to stick with what is best for you, what works best for you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Olusegun, for that wonderful question.
Thank you.
Thank you Toastmaster Shem for asking the question, Toastmaster Jai for answering the question. Thank you all participants of the facilitation training session. Please, now let's set up for the vote. Who do you think will go take the day as our best prepared speaker for today? Please, who's setting up the vote? Zoom Master, please set up the vote. Our best speaker for the day.
TMOD, I sent you a private chat, please, sir.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will now segue to the next segment because there is no vote today. There's a difference between a training session and a prepared speech segment. So there'll be no vote today. And as such, we segue into the devil's topic segment, where you get to speak extemporaneously. This is the part that I love the most and I always look forward to. Sit back, relax, as we delve into this segment with the introduction of this experienced advertising and business strategist who serves on the board of some technology-driven companies. He is passionate about technology-driven solutions and community service. He joined Toastmasters to improve his public speaking and leadership ability. And they are wanting to be of service to us and his community. Help me welcome the table topic master, Toastmaster Ebube Modi.
Thank you so much. Our very exceptional Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ubong Nyanga, for the graceful introduction. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, good afternoon. I'd like to welcome us to this very interesting section of today's meeting. This is the table topic segment of our meeting today. I know that a lot of us will be asking, what is table topics? Now, table topics in Toastmasters are impromptu speaking opportunities that are given to guests and also members. And the essence of this session is to help us practice our ability to think off the cuff, to speak without preparation, and to be able to put our thought processes together and deliver within a stipulated time. You are expected to speak. You are expected to speak for a minimum of 1 minute. Okay, I'd like to encourage us to please put our microphones on mute if we are not yet called up to speak. Yes. So we're expected to speak. Yes, we're expected to speak for a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes. The green card will be showed at once is 1 minute. Yellow card will be showed once is 1 minute 30 seconds, and the red card would be shown once is 2 minutes. And I'd like to encourage us, once we are called up to speak, please kindly enable your video, except you are not in a good place to speak. And the questions are going to be simple and also in line with the theme of our meeting today, and also in line with the Nigerian independence, which is in the month of October. So I'll dive right into the session, and I have my slide prepared for the table topics segment of today's meeting, and I have about 9 questions. However, with the guidance of the Toastmaster of the day, we would get to take few questions, and as much as we have participation, we would stop at where the Toastmaster of the day has asked us to stop. So I'd like to encourage us, please give it a try, do it afraid, and I believe that we are going to maximize the benefits of this session. So I'm going to begin with a Toastmaster, and I have 9 questions that are lined up. Once we are called up to speak, please select a question, and then I will read out the question for you, and then you have a minimum of 1 minute to speak. So if you have volunteers, please raise your hand, and I'm going to call you up to speak. For now, I'm going to be calling on a Toastmaster who is going to show us the way on how the table topic segment works. And I'll be calling on Toastmaster Ugonna Anyanwu, who will be the Toastmaster that is going to speak on the very first topic. And I'd like to encourage our guests to please understudy him so that we can know what he did and how he was able to manage the session. So Toastmaster Ugonna Anyanwu, can you hear me? Hello, Toastmaster Ugonna.
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Table topics,
Okay.
Master.
Okay, would you like to participate in this session?
Absolutely, and gracefully.
All right, so we'll have questions 1 to 9. Please, what question do you think you would like to take?
Let me go for question number 5.
Okay, question number 5. All right, so this is question number 5. So let me make it clearer. Question number 5. So question number 5 says, if you would volunteer for one day, what role would you take on to make the most impact and why? So if you could volunteer for one day, what role would you take on to make the most impact and why? Toastmaster Ugonanya, you have a minimum of 1 minute to speak, and the virtual lecture is yours.
Thank you very much, the Table Topics evaluator, the Table Topics master. So if I could volunteer for one day, what role will I take and why? I am someone who believes that our world needs help, and volunteering is one of those ways we could help them. However, there is a limit to what we could do. And for me, the best way we could help people in the world is to enlighten them. So personally, I love teaching. If I'm to volunteer for one day, I'll probably find myself in a primary or secondary school teaching, and that's just for volunteering. Because following your passion, it's not what gives us the money we are looking for. However, but I believe in the power of teaching and helping young ones to become better than what they are today. For me, I look at my life, it's all about teachers, and I'm where I am today because teachers have sacrificed a whole lot to ensure that they've given me the best of themselves and all they could do. And I want to encourage each and every one of us that at every given opportunity, you might not love it, it might not look trendy, it might not look good, regardless of whether you are at work or in school, at the office, at church, mosque, wherever you find yourself. It's important we find the opportunity to teach, especially the young ones, because in their hands and in their eyes lies the future of our society, the future of our country, and the future of all of us as humanity. Teaching is something that I highly recommend for volunteering. And I am sure maybe if you volunteer long enough, you might be motivated to just dish your high-paying job and get to the classroom and teach. Thank you very much for having me. And it's back to you, the Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ugonanya, for the very articulate presentation of your thoughts. Well done to you and telling us more about teaching. So I am going to be moving on to guests now. And our guests, you have seen how it is done. We're expected to speak for a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes. And I am looking for volunteers, someone who is a guest and who would like to participate in this session. Do we have any volunteers? Somebody is raising their hand. Do we have any volunteer? All right, so I'm going to be calling on names. Okay, I have Olisa, I have Olusegun, and I have Toastmaster Ijoma Okoli. Yes, Toastmaster Ijoma. So let me begin with Olisa. Olisa, please, I'd like to know, can you please turn on your video so we can see you? Guest Olisa.
Hi, good evening.
Hi.
Hi, good evening,
Yes.
DK.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Table
Yes.
Topics Master. Good afternoon. I'm trying to switch on my camera, but at the moment, my phone is having a mind of its own. Yeah.
It's okay. So we can proceed without that. So I have questions 1 to 4. Question 5 has been taken. I have questions 1 to 9. Question 5 has been taken. Please, what question would you like to go with?
Question 9, please.
Question 9. All right. So I'm trying to pull it up. And question 9 says, if you could lead a movement or a cause, what would it be? And how would you inspire others to join? So I will take the question again. guest Olisa, if you could lead a movement or a cause, what would it be? And how would you inspire others to join? You have a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes. The virtual lectern is yours. Guest Olisa.
Thank you very much, Table Topics Master, for that question. I will try to answer as gracefully as I can, especially like given it's my first impromptu speech. So if I were to lead a movement, I would most likely lead one against the incessant use of social media by most people or by like the society today. And why I say this is that although I'm a Gen Z, I have seen firsthand the detrimental like effects of social media on how many young people like nowadays think and like approach life. Things around like things around quick satisfaction or not like willing to do the work anymore. And if I were to lead a cause, it would be to have a bit of like control on the use of social media by at least the young people or Gen Zs, as the case may be. How I would inspire people to join my cause and to join me on this journey of improving the way we relate with ourselves without the use of social media is plainly to show them the benefits of restricting the use of social media, one. Secondly, would be to show the harmful like effects of rampant use of like social media by people. And once they can see the full picture of where the problems are and where and what we need to do, I believe that I would be like able to motivate people to join me on this journey. Thank you very much. And back to you, the TMDK.
Thank you so much, guest Olisa, for articulately presenting your thoughts and also giving us the awareness on you getting to intend to control the use of social media. Well done for that presentation and well done for that. So I'll be moving on to the next question, and I'm going to be calling a lady this time. We would like to have a mix of both male and female. We've had 2 male, and now I'd like to call on a lady. So I would like to confirm Toastmaster Ijoma Chidinma Okoli is still on the call with us. Toastmaster Ijoma, can you please confirm you're still on the call with us? You can, yes, you can unmute yourself. Toastmaster Ijoma, can you confirm you're still on the call with us? All right. Okay, so do we have any lady that wants to volunteer? Okay, so yes, you can just raise your hand. You can use the react button. There's an emoticon on the react. Just use it to raise your hand. Now, moving on to the next volunteer, our accountant for today's meeting, Toastmaster
Olusegun.
Toastmaster Olusegun, yes. So please, we have questions 1 to 9, questions 5, and question 9 has been taken. What question would you like to go for?
Thank you very much. I would like to go for question 3.
Question 3. All right, so question 3 says, I'm going to read out the question, and question 3 says, describe a time when speaking up made a difference in your life or someone else. Describe a time when speaking up made a difference in your life or someone else. You have a minimum of 1 minute and you have a maximum of 2 minutes.
Okay,
So
thank you
also
very much.
use the word of the day gracefully as you also speak.
Thank you very much for that graceful question. The time of my life that I've spoken up for a people and it has actually made a difference, I could think back to my university days when I don't know if there are people here that heard my icebreaker speech, where I spoke that I was the president of my department, an architecture department in Obafemi Awolowo University back then. I became the president and I was able to make quite a bit of changes in terms of the social aspect of the department. It was all about drawings, panel sessions and all that. And I felt personally that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So what I did was to speak up for people and let them know that as much as we're doing the educational programs, there's also the need to have the social ones that you can actually learn some things from, but also merge with the typical educational programs. So it was one whereby I spoke up, and from then on, the architectural department has always also been known furthermore as to the social part and also the educational part. So it's now so much of a balance, and I'm proud I did that at that point. Thank you very much to Toastmaster DK. Over to you.
Well done, and thank you so much, Toastmaster Olusegun, for that very graceful presentation of your thoughts. Well done. So I'll be calling a lady this time, and this is going to be our final speaker. We need a lady to speak, right? So this is just a table topic segment, and yes, we have Toastmaster Miriam. Okay.
Your time is up, please.
Okay. Yes. Can't we take just one more speaker?
I'm afraid not.
No problem. So I'm going to be wrapping up the session now. Apologies to the ladies. I had wanted equity in terms of the speaking opportunities. Well done to everyone who took part in this particular session. It is very informing, and I'm so excited how well we were able to put our thought processes together to ensure that we were able to deliver an amazing speaking time. According to Joyce Meyer, she said, keep showing up and do it afraid. Please don't stop showing up to meetings because of table topic segment. I believe that we will make more impact when we keep showing up and when we keep doing it afraid. Back to you, the Toastmaster of the day, for the continuation of the session.
Thank you very much, Table Topic Master, for that wonderfully facilitated session. I want to appreciate all the respondents who responded gratefully. And it breaks my heart to say that I had to intercept your last respondent. However, there'll be another opportunity in the next meeting. Now we have to segue into our final segment of this Toastmasters event today. And I would like to implore the
hello. May I interrupt? I've asked on the chat. Would it be possible?
Yes, I know.
Would it be possible for me to do the evaluation? Thank you very much.
Yes,
thank you very much.
All right. So, General Evaluator, do you have the profile of DTM Declucky?
No, I do not, Mr. Toastmaster of the day.
All right, I'll just say the few I've known of this man in the last 2 hours. DTM Declucky is a member of 6 different clubs, including one in Ukraine. You can imagine, in the midst of the war, they still find time to show leadership, communication, and be of service. This young man, I dare say, loves connection, loves meeting people, loves communication, and I believe that he's into media and tech. Help me welcome to give this evaluation to the table topic segment, DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster Dick Flosky. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. I'm really enjoying this meeting, really enjoying it. So different to normal meetings. I have to really steel myself and think you are doing it your way. And I am used to everything being ordinary as we do it in the UK, or we do it in the States, or we do it in Ukraine. I'm going now to a meeting in Ottawa in a minute. Yeah, first of all, the one thing I would say, the topics were very interesting, very interesting. And Dike was really good at it. The one thing I would say straight off the bat is PowerPoint. I put it actually in the chat. PowerPoint is not fit for purpose in Zoom. It's too awkward. I have never once seen a PowerPoint presentation succeed. Never once in my whole career on PowerPoint. I would say don't do it. Make up JPEGs, photographs, and just put them up behind you, like I would here. If I had time, I would demonstrate, but I wouldn't do it. The second thing I wouldn't do, Dike, I would never ever ask for volunteers. It doesn't work. You always get that embarrassed few moments, oh, maybe we have some volunteers? Can we have some volunteers? Can we have a lady? And oh, by the way, in the UK and in America, you're not allowed to say that anymore. You're not allowed to differentiate between a lady and a man anymore. No, you can't do that. Everything is they and them. But there we are. So the volunteers. Ubone did the first one, and he was volunteering for one day. What role would he take? I loved his felicitation at the start. The nice fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. That's always very, very nice. And it's good for all Toastmasters to do it. I try to do it if I can. Nice felicitation. The hands were a little bit low, Ubone. I would say you are very confident and you are very strong. That was good. But the hands were we were getting that effect all the time, in and out of the camera. Yeah. If you want to use hands, always 6 inches from your head. Always 6 inches from your head, up there, and then we can all see it. Yeah. Okay. So I would say do that, and also make sure that you're in the top third of the screen. Always in the top third. It's like noughts and crosses. Have you ever seen that, noughts and crosses? We do that as kids, but make sure you're in the top. In actual fact, write this down if you want. Google the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds. I would Google that, and you see all photographers and television people do that. Yeah, Elisa was terrific. Lead a movement or a cause. How would you inspire? And that was his first speech. I can't believe that. Very confident, very strong. Lots of ums, though. Lots of ums. I would be careful of the ums, and I would be careful of the likes. You had a lot of likes in there. Like, it's a very common modern thing, this like. Try and cut them out. Sounds better. And try to speak as if you're singing. Hello. It's much better. Da, da, da. Now I'm going to da, da, da. Much better. That will give you a much better speaking voice. Alasong, Alasagong. A term with so many different pronunciations. A time speaking out when you spoke out on matters. Very, very well answered. Very well answered. You answered the question immediately. Most people don't. Answer the question immediately is the great advice from the great topics master, the topics people who win competitions. Answer the question immediately. But then you did what I do, is you turn sharp left, and you talked about yourself. I mean, that is a great trick. And experienced topics people know that. You answer the question and then you go sharp left onto something you can talk about. And the great thing to talk about is yourself. I didn't like the busy background. Try and keep away from busy backgrounds. You have a picture there, Oliver. You probably love that picture, but it doesn't look right. It's completely, the perspective is wrong, and your camera is low, by the way. Always try to have your camera 3 inches above your eyes. That's the professional way of doing it. And it was a little bit short and there was no message at the end, but they were great topics. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for giving me the honor of doing this evaluation. Bye.
Thank you very kindly. Gracefully delivered evaluation to the table topic and the table topic master. Please, I would like to invite you to my club meeting so you can also deliver such wealth of knowledge to us. Now I'll have to hand over to the general evaluator to call on the rest of his team to give the report on how we fared with our time, our grammar, and the prepared speech itself. Over to you, Toastmaster John.
Thank you so much, the Toastmaster of the day, for handling your segment of the meeting so gracefully. Now we're in the evaluation portion of the meeting, the final portion of this meeting. And first, I'm going to call on the prepared speech evaluator. Dear Toastmasters and guests, please, with a virtual shattering round of applause, welcome the evaluator for the only prepared speech we had today, Toastmaster John Onuminia. Toastmaster John, wait until we see many virtual applauses here. Be patient, wait. Now you can come and give us the evaluation for the prepared speech. Toastmaster Chidalu, where are you? I can't see her video here. I would love to see her. Yes, I can see you. Dear Toastmasters and guests, she had an option, vocal variety or body language. Toastmaster Chidalu, you met the objective of using your body language, 100%. Please, can we give her a virtual round of applause? Well done. And let me list some of the things you did. When you were enumerating, for instance, I was comfortable, you were enlisting it, you kept going like that, lovely. First, second, beautiful, differentiating between business and job, embrace change, the list goes on. Toastmaster Chidalu, well done there. You had great camera placement, your lighting was beautiful, you were very clear and audible, and these are paramount for a good virtual speech. Well done. A few areas that I think can enhance the quality of your speech. Your speech was inundated with so much content. I would have loved that you perhaps focused on maybe one story. You can dive deeper into the story of your parents or your own personal story, just so we can emotionally tag along. Even though what you said, as I said, great content all along. I know you probably chose body language, but it would be great that we see your vocal variety. It appeared to me that you were so focused on your diction. Maybe you're just so good at it and really exquisitely done. But if you let yourself feel the emotions, because really vocal variety is about feeling the emotion. When you're excited, you speak up. When you're sad, you go down. And your speech was replete with emotional variation that you could have utilized it. I'm looking forward to a speech when you do that, Toastmaster Chidalu. You referred to your icebreaker, not certain if many of us were there. I would have preferred that you just tell us what you want to tell us rather than referring to the icebreaker. That takes away time and some people are confused. What is she saying? Just tell us. That being said, I love the fact that you had powerful quotes. Unfortunately, because I was paying attention to other things, I couldn't write them down, but it gets the power from the author, whoever came up with it, without distracting you, forcing you to come up with something that powerful. Well done. I loved your use of questions. An example, imagine coming from a background like that. just after you told us about your parents' 35-year experience each in insurance, in education. Beautiful question. He actively engages us. And finally, your conclusion, succinct, straight to the point. Let us embrace change. Well done, Toastmaster Chidalu. I look forward to your next speech. Over to you, the General Evaluator. Please, let's welcome back the General Evaluator. Thank you so much, Toastmasters and guests. I think that was beautifully done. Let's see the virtual round of applause for the only speech evaluator for today. Well done, Toastmaster John. Now, moving right along to my team members, I would like to call on the grammarian to deliver his report. Please, with a virtual round of applause, welcome back to our screens, none other than the English doctor. Toastmaster Craig, over to you.
Toastmaster John, very kindly for relinquishing the limelight. Today, I've had the privilege to listen to a fantastic volley of expressions. But I would love to begin with the use of the word of the day. Olusegun used it 3 times, John twice, Toastmaster Ubong 3 times, Toastmaster Francis 6 times, Ebube once, Chika once, Ibrahim once, Mariam once, Samson once, Ayaw twice. Toastmaster Ebube used it once again. I would love to delve into the meat of the matter. I was awestruck by Toastmaster John's use of the adverb exquisitely, which is synonymous with beautifully. John's use of these expressions, do we resist it or do we embrace it? She used a grammatical device in English known as parallelism or parallel construction. You would observe that both sides of the coordinating conjunctions have the same grammatical elements. That is why we call it parallelism or parallel construction or even parallel structure or parallel wording. That was absolutely magnificent from a speaker. Recommendation areas, one speaker said, Mohamed Katani, a former world champion of public speaking. Well, the world champions carry the title for life. We don't use former for world champions. The speaker ought to have said, Mohamed Katani, the 2015 Toastmasters world champion of public speaking. Besides, one speaker said it was not in my dictionary. This is an idiomatic expression. The speaker ought to have said, it was not in my vocabulary. In my vocabulary. Pronunciation-wise, Chidalu excelled in the way she vocalized career professionals as opposed to career professionals. Career professionals. Chidalu excelled in that domain. May I commend Toastmaster John and Ubong for the way they vocalized final. Note, it's preferable, not preferable. It's social media, not social media. Let me wrap up by commending Toastmaster Francis for his use of this simile expression. Confidence is like a pregnant woman. That was brilliant. May my evaluation empower our speaking skills to continue to flourish like fragrant flowers in a fertile field. Back to you, sir.
Thank you so much, our one and only English doctor. I've been informed that they would like us to vote for the table topics best speaker. Please, the polls are going to come up. Vote for who you felt was your best table topic speaker. And as Toastmaster Francis said, you can be motivated by whatever means necessary. It might be financial. It might be based on the way they look, the food they give you. It's your choice. Vote for who you feel was the best speaker. Toastmaster Ogona, the first speaker, our guest, Odisa, and finally, Toastmaster Olusegun. The polls are up. While that is going on, I'm going to move on to my next team member. And let me confirm if our backup is the one here or if the initial timer is back in the room. I don't think I see our initial timer. As a consequence, please give a virtual round of applause and welcome our replacement timer, the Vice President Education of Seaside Toastmasters Club, none other than Toastmaster Kudus Adebayo. Note, I know you didn't start from the onset, so you may not have the report for the entire meeting. Just deliver the report that you have with you. Over to you, Toastmaster Kudus.
Thank you very much. I must say that the time management today has been commendable, considering the agenda. And currently, this is 2:52, and this timer's report is supposed to come at 2:56. So that's great. Okay, I will just go into the usage of time. Toastmaster Francis spent 10 minutes, 17 seconds for his training. Toastmaster Chidalu spent 5 minutes, 45 seconds for her speech. Toastmaster Jani Ibrahim, 9 minutes, 59 seconds for his training and 4 minutes, 33 seconds for the Q&A session. For the table topic speakers, Toastmaster Ugona spent 2 minutes, 2 seconds. Intending Toastmaster Olisa, 2 minutes, 19 seconds. And Toastmaster Ibitoye spent 1 minute, 41 seconds. For the table topics evaluations session, DTM Kloski spent 5 minutes, 39 seconds. And Toastmaster John spent 3 minutes, 12 seconds for the evaluation session. That is my report. Thank you very much, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kudus. Finally, the R counter for today's meeting. Dear Toastmasters and guests, with a virtual round of applause, welcome none other than Toastmaster Olusegun Ibitoye. Over to you, Toastmaster Olusegun.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm always delighted when you call my name in a graceful manner. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for the people and the guests that joined after I did the first introduction, I said earlier that my job here is just to do two things. First of all, to watch out for the pause fillers. Pause fillers are words that you use in cases where you're nervous, like so, and also repetition of words, comfort words, like basically right. So I'll just go straight into it. And I must say, it's very commendable that the quality of the meeting today was very high, and a round of applause for everybody that spoke today. I would say TM Kudus used the word once. TM Ajani used the word twice. Intending Toastmaster Olisa used the word 10 times, used the word like 4 times, and used the word and 2 times. Then TM Olusegun Ibitoye used the word twice. Also, DTM Kloski used the word 3 times. And that is it for today. Thank you so much, TM John. And as I said earlier, it was such a blissful and graceful meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please, can you give a virtual round of applause to all my team members? Now I have the privilege of delivering the General Evaluator's report. First, I would love to commend the Vice President Education in setting up the group that had all the role players today. He reminded people to please show up early. And when I joined the meeting, there were about 18 people already here. Fantastic. That is how you show up to a meeting. Early, not on time, especially a virtual one. The meeting started right at 1 p.m. Sergeant at Arms, I don't know what the president is paying you. Whatever it is, he's not paying you enough. Mr. President, pay him more. Most of the meetings I've attended where you served in this capacity, we usually start 1 on the dot. Thank you so much. The Sergeant at Arms was also very warm, which set the tone for the meeting. He gave clear directions of what to do, which is very useful for new members. When you attend a meeting you've never been to, you don't know what is expected. When someone gracefully explains what should be done, it relaxes you. Thank you so much, the Sergeant at Arms. And we also started with the Toastmasters Promise, which is a great way to remind us of our responsibilities to Toastmasters. Some areas of improvement. During the course of the early session, before the meeting commenced, we started with beautiful music, Michael Jackson. I love Michael Jackson. I love dancing. When I joined, the tempo was really high. I would recommend that maybe we start with songs that have a lower tempo because people are on diverse scales. Some people prefer lower things, some prefer more upbeat things, but the things that are not as upbeat create this professional atmosphere. And even if I want something more upbeat, I can accept that which is not. But for someone that is more low key, they may be turned off by that which is so upbeat. Before we started, people were giving recommendations of ways to improve. I recommend that you do that behind the scene, a direct message, not while we're all here talking about how to improve it. I don't think that's the best way to go about it. The timer tested the timing card at 1 p.m. The meeting had started. That's when the timer was testing the timing card. Please, that's not the right way to do it. One of the role players asked for the agenda in the chat box, which gives me the impression that he did not get the agenda in advance. I don't know if that's accurate, but if that's the case, please, all role players should have the agendas in advance before joining this meeting. At some point, I guess I was made a co-host without my knowledge. Without knowing that, I was trying to do certain things on my computer, only to note that I was changing things for the entire meeting. Please, if we're going to make anyone co-host, let them know in advance. That will enable them not change things for the entire meeting. Very important. When the second trainer came up, and I'm glad we did trainings, as he was already starting his segment, we were telling him how to handle PowerPoint. That is not the time to do that. It should be done before, or maybe behind the scene, not there. Let him do what he knows how to do. It took a lot of time and it distracted people as well. There was a comment made in the chat box about how using PowerPoint was not professional for Zoom. Once again, send a private chat. Zoom has that option. You don't need to share that comment with the entire room. Table Topics Master, please, when you come early, you can engage the guests privately, or you can speak to them openly and ask and explain what Table Topics is rather than call for volunteers later. At one point, we had about 45 people in the room. I don't know how much the president paid them to be here, but that is where we need to go. Those are the numbers we need. The Vice President Education gracefully stepped in to take the role of timer when the timer had network issues. Well done. Table Topics Master came prepared with 9 questions. Exquisite. It's better to have more questions than less, because if we have ample time, you're prepared. If we have less time, just ask a few of them. Great job, Table Topics Master. And I don't know what we had in this room, but we had so many volunteers. Well done. You guys are confident in this club, whether they're guests or members. And let me say, all role players were thoroughly prepared in my estimation, even those that were doing their job for the first time. I love the prepared speech, and I'll end with the Toastmaster of the Day. Toastmaster of the Day, you have a great way of carrying the entire meeting along. Thank you so much for how you did it. You set the right tone, and that's why we're here at this point, ending well before the scheduled end of the meeting. Thank you for this opportunity. Over to you, the Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much for that perfect feedback and evaluation of how we work today. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come full swing. For me, it was an interesting meeting, roller coaster training, prepared speech, several topic moments, the feedback, the evaluation. They were all on point. And the time management as well. It was nice being here at Seaside, and I see why they put 3 meetings in October and November so they can go by the seaside and have fun in December. Don't fail to invite me for that fun. Now I'd like to relinquish the reins of this meeting to the club president, Toastmaster Ebube, your model. Mr. President, over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. Please, can we give a round of applause to the Toastmaster of the Day and everyone who has participated in today's meeting? Please, virtual round of applause and physical round of applause. Thank you so much. Today has been a very impactful meeting. I learned something today from the TM Kloski, which is said that they're no longer pronounced lady in the UK. So perhaps I have taken note of that so that I don't get to sleep in prison, perhaps when I find myself outside Nigeria. So I believe that we also individually learned a lot of things in the course of today's meeting. Well done to all the role players. Thank you, Vice President Education, for taking us to United States of for the United Kingdom. You took us to different cities in Nigeria to bring role players who has enhanced the quality of today's meeting. Well done to the Vice President Education. Well done to the VPM. Well done to the VPPR. Well done to every of the executive who, in one way or the other, had contributed to make today's meeting a success. At Seaside Toastmasters Club, we celebrate people. And this segment, we would like to celebrate people who have improved in their speaking journey. We all are winners, and both the prepared speech segment, they did fantastically well. So I'd like to, we only had one voting segment, which is for the table topic segment of today's meeting. And luckily for us, we had a tie in the voting segment of the table topic segment of the meeting. And I would like to share my screen. Okay, we were informed that we shouldn't be sharing screen. Although we didn't get feedback on how we should manage it. So perhaps maybe I will end, you can know how to share the screen. But for today's meeting, please permit me to share my screen for the winners of our prepared speech, our table topic segment. So I'm sharing my screen for the table topic segment. We had 3 people who participated: Toastmaster Ugonna, Toastmaster Olusegun, guest Olisa, and they did fantastically well. And please, with a virtual round of applause, can we celebrate Toastmaster Ugonna Anyanwu, who had a tie? And can we also celebrate Toastmaster Olusegun Ibitoye, who also had a tie, have emerged winners for the table topic segment. These are your certificates. Please have it and we will send it privately to you. Well done to everyone who has participated to the success of today's meeting. And we would like to celebrate our TMOD, who is playing the role of the TMOD for the very first time in Seaside Toastmasters Club. We also like to celebrate our timer, Toastmaster Appease, who is also playing this role for the very first time in Seaside Toastmasters Club. This is the beauty of Toastmasters. When you are a member of any Toastmasters Club, you can play a role in any club that you are able to discuss, have an alignment with the Vice President Education. So if you perhaps you find yourself in the UK, perhaps you find yourself in Canada or anywhere in the world, you can serve in that club. So well done to the Vice President Education for bringing new initiative in coordinating the meeting. I also like to celebrate our first-time role player, a member of Seaside Toastmasters Club, and who recently joined us and is on fire. He's giving both speeches and he's also playing roles. I'd like to celebrate Toastmaster Olusegun Ibitoye, who is playing the accountant role for the very first time. Please, can we give him a virtual round of applause to celebrate him as well? I'd like to celebrate our speaker, Toastmaster Chidalo, she has been on fire since when she joined Toastmasters Club. In fact, she won the best speaker when she gave her icebreaker speech, and all her speeches has been on point. Well done, Toastmaster Chidalo, and please keep the fire burning. We are looking forward to seeing you in January participate in the speech contest that will be coming up, and as well as other engaging activities. Well done. I'd like to also celebrate our facilitators. I understand that perhaps maybe we think that it was a little work that was done here today. It wasn't. The facilitators took time to prepare slides, to do research, to do a lot of things, and then come on stage to present. I think they deserve some accolades to celebrate them. Please, can we, with a virtual round of applause, celebrate our facilitators who were able to deliver wealth of wisdom to us on how to navigate different options. Thank you also, facilitators, for even honoring the invite to give up your presentation. Please keep leaving the doors open so that we can continue to leverage on your wealth of wisdom and continue to expand our knowledge. I also like to thank, lastly, Toastmaster John, Toastmaster Ibrahim Ajani, and Toastmaster Gona, who were coaches that helped our tall tales and evaluation contestants. For the benefit of those who are just joining us for the first time, when we benefit from the Toastmasters journey, there is a speech contest that one may participate in. So members can serve as mentors who have also benefited and who have experience in this particular light. So this guy, this Toastmaster John, this Toastmaster John, Toastmaster Ibrahim Ajani, and Toastmaster Gona help to coach our contestant and evaluation contestant, and we had winners in the tall tale segment. We also had winners in the evaluation segment. So please, can we give a round of applause to our coaches for a job well done in coaching our contestants. Thank you so much for always listening to us. So I don't want to be the one that is going to make us stay here beyond the time, because the TMOD has done exceptionally well. So my name is also going to be on a clean slate. So by the powers vested on me, and I'd like to mention that, please guest, we have our Vice President membership, and she would like to share some membership information for the guests who would like to know more about how to become members. This segment immediately after this section is going to be an interactive segment where the Vice President membership is going to lead in the discussion on getting to receive your questions and getting to know more about you. But we're going to close the meeting now. And for those who are interested to learn more about becoming a member, please stay behind so that the Vice President membership can be able to have an interaction with you. So by the powers vested on me as the President of Seaside Toastmasters Club, I'd like to declare today's meeting to close. And or rather, I'd like to adjourn today's meeting to the 1st of November. Our next meeting is happening at Echo Hotel, and it's also going to happen online. So please join us at Echo Hotel as we're going to have a beautiful session in person. Thank you so much. And the meeting is declared closed. Please stay back, our guests, as I like to call on Vice President membership. Toastmaster Miriam.
Good afternoon, President. Please, can you confirm if you can hear me?
Yes, can hear you.
Sorry, please give me like 1 minute to change my location because my colleague is speaking.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, no problem. All right, so I'd like to welcome our guests. I can see that we have amazing ladies and gentlemen that have joined us in today's call. And we are going to learn more about you. But before that, I'm going to introduce Seaside Toastmasters Club. And Seaside Toastmasters Club is a club that is dedicated to helping members become better communicators and leaders. And we have a curriculum that has been built upon for over 100 years. And that curriculum, we call it the Toastmasters Pathway. So when you become a member, you will have access to this curriculum. Okay, over to you, Vice President membership.
Thank you very much, President, for helping me with that. So good afternoon, everyone on the call. Thank you for joining today's meeting. My name is Mariam Oke, and I'm the Vice President membership of Seaside Toastmaster Club. So this afternoon, we're going to be talking very briefly on Toastmaster International. So Toastmaster International is a non-profit educational organization that aims to help individuals improve their public speaking, communication, and leadership skill. Toastmaster International was founded in 1924 by Ralph Smedley in Santa Ana in California. And since then, Toastmasters Club have grown to be a global organization with thousands of clubs in over 140 countries. So I'm going to talk about the key aspects of Toastmaster International. I'm going to start with the mission of Toastmaster International, and that's to empower people to become more effective communicators and leaders through a supportive and positive learning environment. So you as a member, you get to practice and develop your skills through structured speaking, listening, and leadership exercises. So the structure of Toastmasters is that we have clubs that operate locally, and they meet regularly. So an example of a Toastmaster International Club is Seaside, and we meet first and second Saturday of every month. The first meeting holds in Eco Hotels, and this first meeting holds in Eco Hotels and online. So it's an hybrid meeting. And the second meeting of every month is strictly online. So for the month of October and November, we're having 3 meetings. Why? Because we're not going to be meeting in December. We want all of you to be able to do your dirty December properly, and we don't want to interrupt that. So another thing about the structure of Toastmaster International is that we have what is called educational program. So the organization's educational program is also known as Pathways and is designed to guide members through tailored learning paths, focusing on various skills such as public speaking, leadership, and strategic planning. So Toastmaster, for example, today, Toastmaster Chidialu, sorry, give me a minute. She spoke from one of the pathways, and our pathway is presentation mastery. So we have about 11 pathways. So presentation mastery is the most popular, and you can see that Toastmaster Chidialu, when she spoke today, she spoke on body language and vocabulary, which is part of Toastmaster educational system. So another thing about Toastmaster structure that is unique to them is leadership roles. So if you're a member of Toastmaster, you have the opportunity to take leadership roles within the club and at higher levels, such as the area level and the divisional level. So you can serve by playing a role in meetings such as timekeeper and speech evaluators. And I'm sure you've seen all these demonstrated during today's meeting. So what are the benefits of joining Toastmasters Club? 1, you develop your public speaking skills. You're very good at impromptu speaking, such as table topics. You go through leadership development because you learn a different type of leadership when you are in Toastmasters. Unlike when you're in the office where you might be queried if you don't do certain things. In Toastmasters, people volunteer to take up roles and to give speeches, even though they paid money to become members of Toastmasters. So if you try to be like the VPM or the VP in a Toastmaster club, you learn a different kind of leadership in the sense that you learn to motivate people to come up to speak or play roles voluntarily. So you're not forcing them, you're not going because there's really nothing you can do to them. So you learn a different type of leadership skill if you become a member of Toastmasters, and you probably take leadership roles too. So another thing is networking. So I think I've met a lot of people that I will probably not have met in real life if not for Toastmasters. And because of time, I won't mention names, but a lot of people that I met in Seaside, I met them through Toastmasters, and they've contributed to my life invaluably. Like, they've been so fantastic. So I would encourage everybody to please join Toastmaster International clubs. So if you're interested in improving your communication and leadership skills, please join Toastmaster Club. Like, I believe this is like the best club in the entire universe. So how do you join us? You can start by dropping your email address and your contact details privately to me in the chat box. But if you're comfortable doing it, like posting it on the general platform too, that's also good. So I want us to finish like 3:30. So I'm going to be calling us in groups. So the first set of people I'm going to call is guest Abayomi, Adebayo, and Augustus. Please, guest Abayomi is to go first, followed by guest Augustus. So you're going to tell us what you learned in today's meeting, what you're taking away from today's meeting, and if you would like to join us. So over to you, guest Abayomi Adebayo. Okay, I don't think he's close to, or maybe he can't speak, or he's close to his device. So I'm going to move on quickly to guest Augustus. Yeah, thank you very much. Introduce yourself to the room. Tell us what you do, what you learned in today's meeting, if you'd like to join us. And don't forget to drop your contact details with me in the chat box. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Great. I'm so happy to be here and to learn about this great organization, which is almost a century old. As I've said, I'm interested in joining the Toastmaster Club. I'm a petroleum engineer. I reside in Lagos, Lekki to be precise, and I'm open to learn from each and every one of you. What I learned today on the presentation was for one to prepare and be, especially the gestures during presentation, to be looking at, to be looking and be concentrate on what you are presenting. As I said, I'm open and I will learn as much as I can from each and every one of you, especially when we meet on the 1st. For now, that's all I have to say.
Thank you very much, guest Augustus. I especially love what you said by your opening statement, where you said you're open to learning. So please do not forget to drop your details with us before you leave. So I'm going to call, this time around, I'm going to call 3 people at the same time. That's guest Ayodeji Ajayi, Blessing Popola, and Cynthia Obuchi. So we're going to do it in that order. And as Ayodeji will come first, followed by Blessing, then last but not the least, Cynthia. Thank you very much. Okay, so I think we will just move on to Blessing. Blessing Popola, please, can you Can you unmute your mic and speak to us? And please, if you know you cannot speak, just drop a chat just drop a message in the chat box so I would not call you. Thank you very much. Over to you, Blessing Popola. Please, this is a learning environment. We would love to hear from you. Thank you very much.
I think she needs to unmute herself.
Yeah, please, can you unmute your mic?
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. And thank you
Good
for
afternoon.
today's presentation. It was quite a beautiful one and gracefully done. Let me use the word for the day. So in fact, I learned a lot. I saw that Toastmaster has a structure first. So the way things were done and the observations that were made for the presenters, I love the structure. So from the first presenter that presented about leadership, I learned something about leadership, apart from the fact that a leader has to give direction, collaborate, motivate. I also learned that a leader should have charm and warmth. So for me, I think that's a takeaway from this meeting. And also for the second presenter, she did well and she did it gracefully. I learned that from her presentation that sometimes our fears holds us back from trying to do new things. But if you take that step, you just see that the transition, though it's not easy, but if you keep working at it, you are going to get there. So I'm very happy to be part of this meeting, and I think I will want to be a member. And going forward, I would like to be part of what is going on here. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. I love the fact that you used the word of the day more than once. Thank you very much. Please do not forget to drop, because I don't think anybody has actually dropped their contact details either in the private chat box or the open chat box. Please do that. Do not forget that. Thank you. So Cynthia, over to you. Please speak. You can unmute yourself and speak. We would like to hear from you. Tell us what you do, what you learned in today's meeting, and all those beautiful and graceful things that you will take away from today's meeting. Okay, so we don't waste further time. I would move on to Deji, Femi, and Imoyi Samson. So Deji, please, if you can unmute yourself, the floor is yours.
When you say Deji, do you mean Deji Olukowi?
So I can only
Yes,
see
okay.
Deji. Yeah, I think I'm referring to you because I can only see one Deji without the surname. There's no
Okay,
surname. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So apologies, can you tell me structure of my response?
Okay, so introduce yourself by telling us your name, your full name, what you do, who invited you to the meeting today, what you learned, and if you're going to be joining us. So that's like 5 things. I hope you got that. Yeah.
Yes. So my name is Ulukobi Oladimeji Ayodeji. I am an engineer by training. I work with as a software developer with Sterling Bank. This is my third time on Toastmasters, and I came here as a guest. I'm quite interested in public speaking and building my leadership ability. And I was quite impressed with the quality of the presentation during 20 times I've been available, and I believe I can learn a lot from everyone here. A couple of people are my senior colleagues, and apart from learning, makes there's potential for networking and rubbing minds with my learned colleagues here. So I don't know if I will be joining as a member yet. I think there's some documents regarding the membership and all that. I'll go through it, but I tend to keep coming back, as just to learn. So I think that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to comment by saying you should make up your mind on time. So because the earlier the better, they would say that the best time to plant a tree is yesterday. Yeah. So I would move on to Femi. So the floor is yours. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm excited and privileged to be present here today. And Oluwafemi Okudwa is the full name, but you see Femi Okudwa on the chat, or screen rather. So I work with a telecoms infrastructure company, working with management to implement and drive people initiative. This is my second attendance with this club. And one of the things I love is the graceful presentation, mesmerizing speeches, and just the structured way the club is organized. I've learned quite a lot today. I've learned even from everyone who presented, and the format of organizing speeches stood out for me. I know I used some first fillers there. I've learned some things, quite a number of things really, but I'm really excited. I requested for the membership requirements. I've seen it. It's something to plan towards. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to learning. I want to grow my public speaking ability. I did not volunteer out of fear, but I heard do it afraid, so I'm really hoping to learn when I hope to join very soon. Thank you very much for the privilege.
Thank you very much for that beautiful speech, Ma. So I saw that you sent us an email, and I've responded to your email about the membership inquiries. So I'm going to call the last three people, last but not the least for today's call. That's Imoyi, Samson, Juma, and Mora. So in that order, we have Imoyi coming first, followed by Juma and Mora speaking lastly. So over to you, Imoyi.
All right, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, my name is Imoyin
Good
Samson.
afternoon.
Yes, please, thank you. My name is Imoyin Samson, and I'm a petroleum engineer, web developer. I'm very excited to be here today. Very excited to be part of this meeting, and it's my first time to stay up to the end of the meeting. Other times to try joining, but because of one or two things, I find myself out of the meeting before the end. So today, I'm very excited to stay up to this very time.
Sorry, you're muted.